Views recently upgraded from Supershield. Massive fan of it. Already done a video on it before, but essentially old style blimp, but twist, click, move, traditional lycras, all that kind of stuff. Slight upgrade. Well worth looking into if you're in the old school section of the ones with the little twisty things on. Highly recommended. But now moving to Nanoshield. Haven't got to demo it in the field yet, literally unboxed it, but had a little play around. Thought I'd give you my first kind of impressions just in terms of usability. You can maybe see that instead of being round, this is slightly oval, which will actually make it fit better in my gear, which is a good thing. Essentially, you have these two little clips on each side, and then it's kind of like a magnet kind of slide system inside. So there's a little groove. These things slide into the grooves. They stick together. Magnetate? I'm trying to make up words. They kind of stick together and then you kind of lock them in place. So, I mean, it took me a little bit to kind of fiddle around with it, to kind of get used to it because I'm obviously used to just kind of twist and click. So there's slightly more steps in terms of this, such as getting used to the sweet spot of where that clips in. You won't be able to basically hold this with one. Well, you can kind of hold it with one hand and use it, but it's definitely a bit more fiddly in terms of just setting up slightly. Obviously, there's a lot more advantages to it, which is why they've done it. Such as there's now still the inbuilt cable. They made it a right angle, which I think is quite nice. The other one was not. And if I just take this off completely, I can show you a bit around the moving of the actual things as well. So there's kind of see all these little V's? Well, there's this little twisty button at the back. And essentially you can open stuff up, move it along as you need to, I don't know, change the center of the weight, and then you can kind of just screw stuff back in. That way. There we go. I'm still getting used to it. But the idea is that it's always going to be tight no matter where you put it, so there's no kind of set things to kind of put it in, which is really nice. Also got the new Sherps CM1? What's it? CMC1. Which is about a third of the size of CMC6, which is nice. So anyway, right angle, very nice low profile connector, kind of wired in to the actual unit, coming out the bottom. But if I unscrew this, then you can get a better look of it. They've kind of got built in, oh, will it be backwards on here? Okay, built in 80 hertz reduction, because apparently you can not necessarily hear any sort of cable mic distortion, and so they've kind of given you the option to either have that on or not. This is obviously to help with cabling noise, movement noise, that kind of thing. And 80 hertz generally not used a lot for dialogue, especially if it's windy, etc., etc., etc. Really nice thing actually is it's got the built-in kind of quick release, but where is it? Oh, put it back on the boom pole. But if you already have, which is what I was slightly confused at when I first got it, if you already have the Rycock quick release, this will actually just slot straight into that kind of quick release item as well. So getting lots of new stuff today. So yeah. So if you wanted to quick release from shock mount, you can see their normal quick release that I already have. It actually fits straight in, so there's no need to worry about the little adapters, which I think is it's nice always when you can then still use other products that you've bought previously with it. So yeah, so that's what the quick release is all about. You've got a tension dial here to obviously spin it around. I kind of find it easier than the clicking arm thing. It feels, just because of the size, you can actually get a pretty good grip on it in terms of tightening that. And obviously this will all swivel and go kind of wherever you need it to be. So overall, first impressions, yeah, I'm liking it a lot. It feels very weird, obviously going from the Supershield to the kind of nano foam with the sock, because it is quite squishy, which is probably a better thing because obviously it can let more sound in, as it were. Um, but yeah, it just takes me a while to like get used to that, as well as I will eventually perfect getting into the sweet spot of the actual mic as well. Make sure I get it the right way around. So yeah, overall seems pretty good. I was a bit surprised, like when you put this together. I don't know if this is just me, but you do get a natural little gap, which is when you put the things separately, i.e., not on the actual mount. They do fully click together, so it's a bit odd. But they do. When I looked inside, then they do kind of have a little. Take it off. They do have a little like grid overlap here, which is I assume that they kind of factored in that may be the case. I'm assuming. I don't know. That's probably what I'd do. So yeah, I was a bit kind of weirded out that there was a slight gap in there, but I think it should be all right. And then yeah, overall, even I like the little addition on the pistol grip of just something a little extra just to hold on to, which I think is nice. And otherwise, it feels quite light. It feels lighter than the Supershield, and so always light plays a very important role. Comes with spare socks for these. I haven't tried to pull this off because otherwise it'll never come off. And then it comes with a handy case, which you kind of have to. I mean, I'm going to keep it in my Pelly case. You will potentially have to take this apart quite a lot. It's more just for the case on its own. So you take the two bits of the case off, you put it in there, and then you can put the rest somewhere else. So it would have been nice if you could have fitted in with everything, but again, it becomes a bit more trickier to design. And then just getting used to it. Well, firstly as well, it comes with a load of accessory bits for the different lycras, for the different types of microphones. Because obviously you can get this in various sizes, right down to the very small, similar with all the others. Again, feels a bit weird when you're first putting on even the fluffy, just because you're kind of worried that you're gonna kind of squish it, break it a little bit. I mean, this is fully open. I know it's meant to be snug, but yeah, obviously it's not very breakable. Boom. So this is a little overview of the kind of Nanoshield. But yeah, really looking forward to kind of using it, and then I'll give you more kind of any tips and tricks in the field if I come up against anything. But otherwise, yeah, very happy with it overall. Plus, it's a lot more furry than my poor like 5-year-old one now. Maybe 10 years. It's been quite a long time for that other one. Perfect. So let me know down below if you want to see anything else. I bought a load of other new stuff, so I'm just going to start making more videos as I do. So any other questions, anything else, let me know. And otherwise, I'll see you later or on the Soundrolling app.